how small my bag was as I was going around, and I had a lot of questions. I thought I'd just make a video once I got back to just talk about it, how it all worked, because most people were pretty confused about it. The goal that I had when I was travelling was to do it all carry-on size, so you weren't allowed to check in any bags. I did that just underneath this back plate here as well. But the biggest reason was because it's a side opening pack. The whole thing opens out like a suitcase instead of a top loading one like all the tramping packs. Here, the pack has two pockets to it, the front and the back. I generally didn't use the front one at all, apart from stuff that I'd only need to get during the day if I was actually ever using it. So inside here I only have stuff like some earplugs, because in hostels shit you need earplugs, a lot of them, so you know, get some earplugs. And the other stuff was just like, you know, my camera. I went with a GoPro type camera just to save on space. I didn't want to carry around the SLR that this is being recorded with. The other stuff that's in there is just like my charger and, you know, a few travel adapters. So there's a UK one and a Europe one. So those are the main things that, you know, lived in that front pocket, just so when I got to the hostel you could easily just grab those out, or if you need to take a photo of anything or charge when you're just waiting for a bus, anything like that, they'll just live in there. There is a laptop part pocket, you know, in the front of here. I never ended up using that. I carried a tablet with me, but I preferred to keep that at the back of the pack so it was closer to you. Just makes everything just feel a little bit lighter. The other thing that was in here that I used a lot, and when you buy it, if you bought this pack it comes with it, was this leash. Just a steel leash that works with the locking mechanism, and a few times I did end up using that when you're at a bus stop or something like that, or you know, at the airport. You're absolutely ruined and you just need to sleep somewhere. You just lash it to the seat, use the pack as a pillow, and you know, you got a nice comfy bed for a couple of hours. Last thing that was in here is just a little waterproof case for the pack. This thing, you know, it's fairly water resistant, but when it really poured down, it was nice to have that there, just to know that, you know, your camera and your laptop and everything else is just nice and dry. I only used that probably a few times. It poured down when we were in Amsterdam, a few times when I was in Munich as well. So anyway, that's what I kept in that front pocket. The biggest thing was that if it ever came out of that pocket, you use it and it goes back in. You know, you don't put it anywhere else, because then it starts messing with your whole organisation of the bag. Because you know, you've got such little space, you need to keep everything just in place. I don't know why I just locked that. Let me just get it undone again. Yeah. So, you know, as I said, the big reason was for the side opening. Speed this over a bit. This is what my life looked like for the last 4 months. And generally the biggest thing that I found was these packing cells were lifesavers, absolute lifesavers, you know, because you can just, you know, compartmentalize everything within your bag, and it's just there when you need it, you know. So the biggest one I had was this guy here. It's my clothes one. Show that to the side. If I was to do it again, I probably wouldn't take the jeans. Didn't really need them. But these shorts here were awesome. I got these. These were some quick drying ones, and you know, you'd use them quite often, and if you ever got them dirty or anything like that, you could easily just wash them quite quickly and they'll be dry within an hour or so. You know, be way laughing. As you can see, the best way I found of packing everything was just rolling it up. You know, it doesn't keep it that nice, but it means you can get some nice quick access. You don't have to, like, if I was folding them, then I'd have to, you know, take everything out and get the thing that I want and then put them all back in. But the roll meant that you could just, you know, put them side by side here and easily get everything out. Since you only had like a few clothes, the best way of doing it, I found, was that you'd wear it. So you take it out of here, put it on, and then when you're done, you'd put it in the dirty side here. Around a lot. The stuff that I also would have in here, but I threw it out because of my flight back, I just wanted to get rid of some weight, was my shower gel and some stuff to wash your clothes with as well. So what I'd generally do if I had dirty clothes was just get, we moved into a hostel or something like that, you would actually just get the shower gel, you know, your clothes gel, and you just wash it, you know, in the sink or even in the shower just after you've used it, because then you just have it ready to go the next day. The other thing I got, since I'm a guy, little electric razor. I didn't want to carry around shaving cream and, you know, a razor blade the whole time, just because of travel issues. This was an absolute lifesaver. A little Remington one. I've been travelling for 4 months now with this, and I charged it once. No, actually it was once when I left and then once when I was on the way. The nice thing about it is that it takes a little mini USB charger, so that actually can be used with the same charger that's for my laptop and my phone and my camera, so that was pretty compact and nice. The foil blade that came with it was shit, but you know, this guy was just really good because you could just quickly just get rid of all those wiry hairs on your face. Anyway, so that's the toiletries bag. That would generally always sit, you know, up the top by my shoes here. Now, I would always have, you know, I took one pair of shoes and one pair of flip-flops, jandals, thongs, whatever you want to call them. These would generally live in my bag because, you know, Europe during the summer is hot, real hot. So, yeah, these would just normally live in my bag, to be honest. Generally, when it got to like the later months, especially in the UK, I started using those a lot more. And especially if you're going on bigger walks, it's nice to have a pair of shoes as well. But I'd just swap, you know, if I was wearing my jandals, they would go up the top and then the shoes would come out, or they'd swap. So, you know, generally if I was wearing the shoes, the bag would be a lot lighter that day. The other things that I had in here, this is my, you know, undies and sock compartment. If I was going to be travelling again, I would get some quick drying ones of these. You'll be washing these a lot. So, yeah, get some quick drying ones. I found that the cotton was kind of annoying after a while because, you know, you'd just be, especially since they're black, they would take a while to dry. And it's the same with some socks, you know, cotton socks like these ones were a bit annoying to be travelling in, to be honest. Sweet, so that's undies and socks. My jacket, I bought a jacket basically out of fear that it was going to be cold and wet like it is here in New Zealand. It wasn't too bad. I think I used this a couple of times. It was a nice one. I spent a bit of money on this because it's nice to have a proper jacket. But it was pretty good. It's a nice lightweight one. I'm not too sure of the waterproof rating. It's from Kathmandu. It was pretty good to have, especially on some of the hikes that we did. You know, especially when the wind got up, you could easily shove it down with that thing. But yeah, nice lightweight thing. I think the total of the jacket, I bought this one because it came to 400 grams for the total weight. Now, one of the pieces of advice that I got before I left is that if you're buying a jacket, don't get one with a fleece liner. Generally what you do is you just buy a shell like this, and then what you do is you double that up with one of your jerseys that you got as well. So what I generally do if it got really cold, get your jacket out, put that on. Well, first of all, get the jersey, which is this one. My jersey was this merino wool top. It's inside out at the moment, but this was absolutely stunning to work with. Merino's a really nice fabric. So you would normally put that on, then put this over the top, and you were toasty. You know, nothing was going to get through to you then. And I used that all the way through Wales and further up north in the UK as well. That being said, it was still, you know, just coming on autumn, but still, it was good. Almost like a sleeping bag, but it's just, you know, just really thin. And that was good, you know, if the linen was particularly bad at the hostel, or you had to pay for it or anything like that, you could just whip this guy out instead and just use that. Yeah, because some of the beds that well, especially like in places in Prague, I slept at a terrible hostel. There's been a few ones actually where, you know, I'd rather just use my own linen, not worry about the crap that they give you. So that was generally pretty useful. I was going to get a thermal one before I left, but generally just because of the temperatures that you're there, a silk cotton one was pretty good. Now, this wasn't my always pack, you know, my day pack was actually this guy here, and, you know, it doesn't really look like a pack, but this thing was awesome. I pretty much lived out of this thing on the days when I just locked this up at the hostel. So this is was my day pack. And it was perfect, you know, it just comes down to that little rectangular size, pops out, and all of a sudden you've got a little day pack that, you know, you can chuck your camera, some shoes, a jersey or jacket in case it's, you know, think it's going to rain, and anything that you pick up along the way. So this was probably the most used item out of everything. It was always with me. And whenever I got to the airport or anything like that, all I'd do is just pack it down like this, and then it would just go back straight into my bag. And then you're down to your one bag minimum, or one bag maximum carry-on. Lasts a lot. You can see that I've got my tablet, or this bag here, at the back. It was sitting underneath my clothes here. This was probably the most heaviest item in my bag. It was my tablet. I got this guy, it was just a little HP one. It was pretty good, you know, if you ever need to actually book hostels, you know, using your phone got a bit annoying every now and then, or just, you know, getting in touch with people, it's good because, you know, it's a tablet and it runs full Windows as well, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, so I did that, got this nice little bag for it. Bag's, again, pretty heavy, which I probably regret now that I've done the trip. Anyway, and also one of the things that I highly recommend to anyone who's travelling, get a little moleskin or something, and, you know, keep a diary of what you're doing. I've kept track of all the days I was travelling, and these plus one item to carry on. So what I'd do is I'd pack everything down. I'd take all the heavy items, which is generally was like my jersey, my jeans, and my shoes. I'd put them on for the plane. And then I'll carry this, and then I've got a photo of it somewhere, of, you know, the total weight of my bag, and I got it down to, for one of the flights, down to 6.8 kgs, or 6.2. All my travel documents, dates of flights and everything like that. Lesson learnt, don't miss your flight. It gets pretty awkward, especially when you're in China. So that was pretty good, you know, just having those available. Just somewhere where you can keep, you know, your files and everything. It's pretty good just to keep in here. The last thing that I have with me was this guy, and I know a lot of people hate them. I loved it. It was pretty uncomfortable to wear, but it's one of those hip belts that keeps your passport in there. And when I was travelling, you know, I'd put my passport and my boarding pass and everything in there. And it was good to have because you knew exactly where your passport was, and it was so damn uncomfortable that you knew that it was always there. So that was a bit of a plus. Yeah, but generally my passport always lived in there, and if it wasn't around me, what it would be locked up in the bag, in that pocket there. Day pack, towel kind of lived there, jacket, toiletries. So that was my underwear and socks, and toiletries sat up the top there. So you can see it was pretty quick to pack down. The last thing I wanted to talk about was my wallet. I got another pack-safe one because I'm a bit of a fanboy after seeing their bag. Just generally a nice little pack, and it was all RFID safe as well. The biggest thing you're going to need with a wallet, if you're ever going to get one, is get one with a damn coin purse. You will end up with so many coins, and you just won't. If you don't have a coin pocket, they're going to be littered through your normal like pants pockets and everything, and it's going to be a nightmare. So get one. That's the biggest thing. Coin pocket. You need one of those. Yeah, so that's my bag. I'd highly recommend getting one of these guys. They're pretty good. The one thing that I'd really like to see if they're pack-safe, well, I might send me an email and just talk to them about it. But you know, the one thing that it really needed was a little bit more ventilation in the back. When going through Italy and stuff and wearing it, you know, you get pretty hot.